E aí pessoas do canal Friend Fire, que é o Júnior, e fazer aqui eu vou falar partida, fazer aqui o gameplay do Dragon Age Origins. Então vamos lá, né, nova partida, criar já o personagem, coloquei ele em português, caso alguém queira um tutorial de como traduzir o jogo, eu faço tutorial pra vocês, ou vocês pesquisam na internet. Vou ficar calado na cutscene. Ali acima vai ter o site. Você pode entrar no site também. E é isso aí basicamente, por enquanto.
The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. Even be too late. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Na hora que eles falam criador, né? Um negócio muito louco. Então vamos lá. Eu já tenho meu personagem em mente. Como é que eu vou criar? Oh, não tem. Já tentei de todas as maneiras, toda vez eu crio elfo. Um elfo rogue. Vou fazer diferente. Eu vou criar um elfo lutador. Não, seria humano, seria mais legal. Humano lutador. Elfo lutador parece que não tem. Não combina. Olha só. Vai ser um lutador então. Nobre humano, riqueza e poder de outro gol Tudo bem. Eu sou um nobre humano.
Greetings.
Vai ser Santinho meu nome. Eu sou santo. Um semi-santo.
Greetings.
Se eu clicar em jogo, acho que ele vai já dividir meus pontos. Eu não sei como é que eu vou dividir esses pontos, então, tipo, eu vou deixar o jogo fazer isso por mim. Ou não. Sei lá. Vamos ver como é que vai começar a história do guerreiro. A história do elfo, rogue ou ladino, eu já decorei basicamente. Então,
For generations, your family, the Kuzlans, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Kuzlan's banner in service to the crown, not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True, though we both had less grey in our hair then, and we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Pup, I didn't see you there. Hal, you remember my son?
I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad. My daughter Delilah asked after you. Perhaps I should bring her next time. Good. She goes on about your prowess as a warrior. I think you have an admirer, young man.
At any rate, Pup, I summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle. Now, that's what I'd like to hear. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan in.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Kuzland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope. They are the heroes of legend, who ended the Blights and saved us all. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow Wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is one of my sons we're talking about. I've not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone? In the meantime, find Fergus, and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me. Upstairs in his chambers, no doubt, spending some last moments with his wife and my grandson. Be a good lad and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
Tudo bem, então. Objeto recebido. Poção. barra aqui. Inventário, algumas coisinhas. Opa, deixa eu ver aqui. Já distribui os pontos. Não é esse tipo de ponto que eu queria distribuir, não. Era esses pontos aqui, ó. Estatísticas, força, blá, blá. O jogo já deve ter feito isso pra mim. Então, vamos lá então. Nova captura de tela, missão atualizada, códice atualizado. Então vamos lá. Eu tenho que falar com quem mesmo? Já me esqueci. Vou seguir lá em direção. Não, pra cá. Abre a porta. Olha só, ele tem um... O jogo tem um... sei lá.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave. No matter how the maids try to keep him out, he always finds a way in. You know these Mabari hounds. They listen only to their master. Anyone else risks having an arm bitten off. I'm not willing to test that. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we? Your mother was quite specific. Unless the castle is under attack, you get that dog before doing anything else. Her words, not mine. Before we go, my lord, might I beg a question? I've heard from several people that a Grey Warden is here. Is that true? Then, is it also true that this Grey Warden was asking after me? Maker's breath, are you certain? Can you imagine me, a Grey Warden? It would be everything I've dreamed of. Of course, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. Pardon my outburst.
Deixa eu ir. Vai, eu tenho que achar esse irmão.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my son, along with Sir Gilmore. Tell me, Sir Gilmore, has my pup collared that dog yet?
Not just yet, your ladyship.
Darling, do take care of that. That malodorous hound of yours is an excellent protector, but he drives Nan to distraction. I'm not asking you to travel to the moon. The kitchen is just around the corner. Sir Gilmore, see that it gets done.
As your ladyship commands.
Good. With any luck, I'll be able to feed my guests before the end of next week. Darling, you remember Lady Landra?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon. You're too kind, dear boy. Didn't I spend half the salon shamelessly flirting with you?
Right in front of your family, too.
You remember my son, Dyron. I believe you two sparred in the last tourney.
And you beat me handily, as I recall. It's good to see you again, my lord.
Tá porra, pera aí. Vamos ver se eu não vou... Me alegro de voltar e viver, meu senhor. O mesmo dia.
And this is my lady in waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great honor, my lord. I have heard many wonderful things about you.
Don't look now, Eleanor. but I believe the girl has a crush on your lad.
Lady Landra.
Hush, Landra. You'll turn the poor thing scarlet.
Vamos flertar, menina.
As it pleases you, my lord.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your lordship. Sir Gilmore.
Tá. Agora eu preciso chamar meu irmão. Só atualizar, limpar. Vou chamar o irmãozinho.
We'd best get to the kitchens before Nan decides to up and leave, don't you think? You know what your mother would say.
Caralho, essa mãe é chata, hein? Tá aí. Onde é que está essa cozinha? Salão principal. A cozinha tá aqui. Ah tá, eu posso apertar tab, então.
Good evening, my lord.
Ah, eu não respondi ele, tadinho. Ó, tá rolando a putaria aqui.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder!
But mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves, I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you! Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down.
Não acredito.
What? That monster is in my larder, slobbering all over the bacon, and you're insulting me?
Meu Deus,
Oh
bacon.
dear. Mistress, calm down, please.
That's it. I'll quit. Inform the turner. I'll go and cook at some nice estate in the Banorn.
Nan, please. Or get the dog. Calm down.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
Badia, só porque falou que ia sacrificar meu cão. Deixa eu bater um papo com ela.
Why are you talking to me, young man? That wretched creature is likely eating my beautiful roast as we speak. I'll calm down once that beast is out of my larder.
Tá bom. Só não sai daqui não, senão minha mãe vai ficar puta. Caralho, olha o cachorro do moleque. Olha o monstro.
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here? He does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait, do you hear that?
Escreva o nome para o cão. Ai, que legal. O cão vai ser do meu bando. Tá, o cão dele vai se chamar... Vou chamar... Eu não sei, cara. Vou chamar Chip. Novo códice.
Let us dispatch them quickly.
A ratazana, mata a ratazana. Que isso, eu não acredito.
What is begun?
Virei guerreiro pra matar rato.
Victory will be ours! Get these beasts out of here! The dogs will dine on your corpses!
Giant rats? It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all. Those were rats from the Kokari Wilds. Best not to tell Nan. She's upset enough as it is. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Jarl's men.
Como é que eu não vou dizer pra mulher? Olha o tanto de rato ali, meu Deus. Você quer que eu faça o quê? Vou guardar o rato? Olha a mulher lá fora, tá putona.
It has begun.
Cogumelo, ó. Tá, o que mais tem aqui? Nada. Vamos falar com o Chip. Vamos acariciar ele. Não acaricia, ele só fica tipo, sei lá. Que estranho. Vamos aqui, opa.
I shall do it.
Mais cogumelo. Vamos deixar a ratazana ali, vamos falar com a cozinheira.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
Vai.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones.
They'll rip you to shreds, they will!
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead. Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms.
De novo.
Here then, take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything.
Gosto dele.
Bloody dog. Thank you, my lord. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about. Thank you again for your help. Now, if you'll just hold on a moment. Yes?
Tem pouco do...
Adney, get moving with those casts. And Kath, do you think you can serve that to the turn with dirt from the floor all over it?
Miserable old bat.
Old bat, am I? We've got to work double time on supper, sweep out the hearths, and no complaining. Just keeping order. That's why your father keeps me on. The good maker knows I needn't take care of you anymore. Thank you for coming to your old nanny's rescue. That blasted hound is more trouble than he's worth. He is. And don't start with me. You've gotten all you're getting today. But what about you, my lord? Been keeping safe and well behaved, I hope? Good. I'm not exactly privy to your goings-on now that you're grown. Just an old nanny, never invited to your father's fancy meetings. Do you remember that bedtime tale I used to tell you, the dog that bit? Good. Then you can start. Before our fathers' fathers came down from the mountains, a warhound was born to the elder bitch of a tribal chief. They named him Hahaku and gave him everything. He grew up a fine, strong pup, destined to be the partner of the chief's eldest son. The young hound became arrogant, taking food from his kin and warning them, in the way of dogs, that the chief's family would punish them if they tried to attack him. Years passed, and the time for the chief's son to take a warhound came closer. Hahaku's pride swelled, and many of the people of the tribe came to the chief, quietly whispering of this dog's bullying. With each complaint, the chief saw only Hahaku's strength and pride, and sent his people away. But as his son grew, the chief watched more closely. The day might come when his boy's life would depend on this dog. If the humblest of his people would not trust Hahaku, how could he? When the day came, Hahaku sat proudly waiting to be called, but the old chief chose Hahaku's brother as his son's hound. Hahaku was shamed, but felt no remorse. So great was his rage that he darted across the fire pit and bit the chief's hand. He shouldn't have done it at all. The chief and his son struck at Hahaku, cursing him. The hound ran into the village, seeking shelter in the tents and kennels. The other dogs snapped at him, and the tribe's people threw stones at him. Before the chief could reach him, the tribe had torn Hahaku apart. Now, what should you carry from this tale? Exactly. Hahaku took advantage of a position he thought he was entitled to. But you're far too old now for an old woman to be reminding you to watch how you behave, It's a story worth repeating. That's all. Be off with you then. Tell your brother farewell before he rides off to war.
Aí. Bem, pessoal, o vídeo vai ficar por aqui então. É basicamente isso. Terminamos o episódio aqui. Próximo episódio a gente vai falar com o nosso irmão. E é isso aí. Caso tenha gostado do vídeo, clique em gostei, favorite, comente. Então decida aí o que você acha melhor para esse vídeo. E o vídeo vai acabando por aqui, junto com o meu belo cão Chip. É isso aí. Valeu e tchau.